So,
It absolutely does.
well,
If it
hold on. My question is, does it matter? In some ways, no matter how much control is exerted on our lives, I would say there's a large contingency. Maybe this goes into the control element where you and I are probably uncomfortable with, but how much of our lives are already controlled, right? We were talking about yesterday about newer cars. You said you made the observation since after 2013, all these cars have, well, every car has some sort of computer in it that's trackable. We're okay with that, right? And then legislation that passed a few years ago, it's after 2026, there's going to be cameras installed into cars to prevent DUI driving.
Mhm.
Now, sure, if we had every safeguard in the world, we knew that's what it was going to be for, I think most reasonable people say, well, I could see the benefit in that. But we know, based on history, that that's probably not going to happen, that people are going to use these cameras to spy, to do illegal things, whatever the case may be, to overexert law enforcement, um, you know, civil liberty abuses. But no one challenged that law, right? It passed bipartisan support. And it's going to, 2026, all new cars are going to have cameras installed in the passenger compartment. And we're okay with that on a broad scale. So I guess the cynical side of me
Are
now,
we okay with that? Did we even get a chance to vote?
no, I mean, sure, we didn't, right? We elect our representatives and that's what they voted on our behalf. But we elect those same representatives over and over again, right? So
Do we?
generally, generally speaking, but I mean, my point is that even with this was a bipartisan bill. This was everybody coming to agreement on this particular decision to pass this law. I wish we had a vote on it. I would have voted no, certainly. But what I'm saying is that most people are going to be okay with it. I think most people bitch and whine like, what the fuck? The government's going to have my camera? God damn, that 2026 Toyota Tacoma looks pretty good. It does. But you know what I mean? Like, I think if we're already looking at control, they've already got it.
Mhm.
And it's again through that layer of consumerism. Now, the consumerism double-edged sword. We get all these nice toys and all these consumer electronics that are now available to us because we can afford it. It's within our price range because it's cheaply manufactured now. But the other part of that is we get consumer electronics that are cheaply manufactured and available to us. And we see the effects of the phones. We see the effects of all these things. And they're having detrimental effects on our health. You have all the blue light, right? All these things.
MK Ultra.
MK Ultra, right? But so it's a double-edged sword, man. And I think they got us hooked. And so my whole thing is, as much as I worry about the grand scale things, and I think, and this is kind of my overall point, is while I think the grand scheme of things, I don't like what I'm seeing with what the federal government's doing. I know in my heart of hearts, there's not much that I can do to change that. All I can change is affect my life and affect the people around me. And so it's more important to me to be conscious and aware of what's going on and just doing something different. You know what I mean? Going out fucking side and just getting off the phone. I consistently the last few months, I've lowered my screen time. Like all these things, like that's important to me. And I think that's where my head is at, because I'm like you in the sense where, yeah, these global issues, they worry me, but I think where it's different is I feel like there's really not, the wheels have already turned. They turned way back there, 50 years ago, and that train hasn't stopped. And if you're just seeing the train now, it's fucking too late. You know what I mean?